What's good, everybody? It's your boy, the one and only, and today we got a really dope video for you guys, so stay tuned because we're going over 5 tips you can do right now to get instantly better on offense. Yeah, 5 tips. You guys know I can't count. Let's get into the video. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. This is tip number 1. We are getting sticky with this. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys what you need to do to increase your ability to get stickishly freaky in Madden. I don't even know if that's a thing, but anyway, I'm gonna show you what most of you guys do that like to go extra hard on your left stick. Man, this is getting really weird. Basically what most of you guys do is you press down on speed and you automatically move over to the right, and that's why you're getting this animation that I'm showing here, in which you kind of like freeze a little bit and then you make that hard cut over to whichever direction you're going, as you see here. That is not what you want because you're going to get hit. You don't have control over your player. What you want is a gradual increase in speed and direction once you make these moves, like you're gonna see here on this ball carrier move. You see how my guy has more control. He's not at full speed, but he has more control over moving left and right. In order to achieve this, you need to just slightly, I don't know if you can see it, just a little tiny bit, move your stick left and right. Practice this by just running down the field and slightly moving your stick like this. You don't want to go all the way over. You shouldn't be hitting those edges. You want to just slightly move that stick. Practice this and you'll learn how to get freakishly sticky, as we like to call it over here on this channel. And this is going to help you out in the run game. As you can see here, you see how I'm able to go to the right and then switch sharply back to the left and try to hit that hole. You'll see it again. I'm taking my time and I'm not hitting full speed. Now, the other thing about this is not to go full speed. Take your time when you're in your ball carrier moves, especially when you're behind the line of scrimmage. Allow your blocks to be set up. Half press your speed button kind of like this, and then when you get in that open field, just go ahead and press it down all the way. Get that full burst. So again, guys, in order to do this wiggle move, you're gonna want to slightly move your sticks. Just slightly, slight speed, and then once you make your cut, go ahead and make it all the way. Press up and let go of the speed in order to make your cut, and then press it back down, and you'll be off to the races. Tip number 1. Tip number 2, we are going to cover the swerve catch. Is it a glitch? It's not a glitch, it's gonna be a catch. I'm not gonna call it a glitch because it requires you to have some type of user skill. Swerve catch is pretty self-explanatory. The new mechanics in Madden really put an emphasis on taking some of the controls away from the user and trying to be as realistic as possible. So if you're throwing an out route towards the sideline, your momentum is going to carry you out towards the sideline. Let's take a look at it right now. What you're gonna see is I'm trying to throw it to my X receiver and his momentum takes him out of bounds no matter how hard I actually try to keep him in bounds. And this, it makes a lot of sense, right? You have a receiver running full speed down the field. He makes a cut. His momentum should be hard to change directions. What the swerve glitch pretty much does is it fools the physics engine into slowing the receiver down, allowing you to not carry yourself out of bounds. The gist of the swerve glitch is you're going to want to change the direction in which the receiver is running, slow down his momentum so he can make the catch in continuation with progression up the field or towards the end zone or whatever you're trying to do, or keep him from going out of bounds. So at the very last minute, you're going to want to click on your receiver here and change his direction so it kind of slows him down enough for you to make the catch and then turn upfield. Now, I know you're saying you're only getting an extra 2 or 3 yards out of this, but it comes into handy when you're trying to make like sideline catches and stay in bounds. You'll see here we get an extra like 4 or 5. That's half of a first down. In a game where yards mean everything, using the swerve glitch can be the difference between a third and short and a third and medium. So tip number 2 is going to be the swerve catch. At the very last minute, you want to make sure you click on your receiver, pull him back closer to the ball, what I normally do to stop his momentum so he can continue going forward and get that good rack after catch. Tip number 3 is going to be pretty self-explanatory and easy to follow. It is double teaming the pass rush. Now, a lot of you guys don't make line adjustments and it's killing you. You need to learn how to identify the mic and double team the pass rush in order to get your passes off without having to block extra people. So what I'm going to show you here is how fast we are getting sacked because this guy has a superstar ability on his defensive end and our offensive lineman cannot hold him. You see he's getting right off. I don't even have time to throw it to X because his route is so deep. I don't have time to set my feet and throw it to him. So when I see something like this, I am going to make sure that I make the adjustment so I don't have to block extra people, but I have more time on the field. So what you're going to do is basically go to your line adjustments and you're going to find the defensive end that's giving you the most problem, or find the person that is blitzing and you're going to want to double team them. The way that you double team is you're going to want to go ahead and click your L1 or your left bumper. I think it's left bumper on Xbox. I always get this wrong. I always get this wrong. You're going to want to press L1 or your left bumper, and then you're going to press down, and then you're going to go over to where the double team player is. So again, that's L1 or your left bumper down, and then move your guy over to where the double team is, and you will get that double team on that defensive end. And you'll see here where he was sacking us, there's no pressure. I have tons of time to make my throw and we're good to go. So your third tip is going to be to use your double teams all of the time. This is going to help you get outside the pocket and just extend your plays when your opponent is only sending 5 or 6 men, even 6 men, if you're lucky. Okay guys, so here we are. This is tip number 4, and this is a little glitchier than the other ones. This one, I don't really know why Madden brought this into the game, but they should probably fix it because it does give the offense a huge advantage. I'm going to tell you how to fake out the defense and get the advantage in the run game. So what we're going to do is go into some of the more popular formations. We're going to come down into this I tight, and we're going to just run a stretch play here, and then I'm going to let the defense line up and what we would normally see, maybe a 4-4 or a 3-4, and we'll just go like a cover 2 man. Most people are going to run man if you're really running the ball on them, and that's because in zone the defense's first step is backwards. So this gives the offensive line time to actually get up on the linebackers and on the secondary and make those blocks. So most people are going to run man in this situation, especially if you're doing well. So what we're going to do is show you guys how to get the advantage in the run game when your opponent is running man. So I'm going to come out, like I said, in one of the very popular formations, which is I tight, and I'm going to just show you guys what it looks like normally, and then I'm going to walk you through how to actually get the advantage in the run game. So this is what I would normally do. I would come out, I would see where my advantage is. Right now it looks like it's pretty even. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the number side of the field just because I like my chances more than actually running to where that corner is out wide. So I'm gonna come in, hope that corner gets blocked, and I can get up on that second level, which I didn't for that particular one, but I just want to kind of show you guys my thought process. Now, as you see, I didn't have a big advantage doing that run play. The defense is pretty balanced, and if you have a really good user, he's probably gonna blow you up in the backfield, but there is a way to trick out the AI so you can get a better advantage on the offensive side. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just flip my play to show you guys what would normally happen. You'll see that the defense pretty much changes. The corner on the left is going to come down and cover my receiver, and the corner on the right is going to go back to his normal position. Now, if I flip it back again, you'll see that it happens again like we would expect it to. So what I'm going to tell you guys to do is actually go ahead and audible and change your run to the other side. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and motion your receiver over. Now, this would be what it looked like when we flipped the play, right? Our receiver came from the right to the left, and then that corner is back. But now watch what happens if I do this. If I motion this guy backwards, you would expect him to stay on the left side like it normally happened when we flip the play. But instead, the corner goes all the way back over to the left, and now I have 2 corners on one side. Now I only have 3 people on the left, and the majority of the defense is on the right. So I now have a huge advantage on the left-hand side versus when I initially started. So let's do this one more time, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come out in our stretch formation, and then the defense is going to be in man coverage. And as you can see, we are currently on the right side. We're going to flip the play, okay? And then what we're gonna do is we're going to motion the corner or the receiver back over to the other side. And now you can see that I have both corners on the same side. And now we have a clear running advantage on this side, and we are good to go, and we get some really good blocks, hopefully, and we can take off. So if you are in a run situation and the defense is running man, you can flip your play and then motion your guy over, and you'll get both corners on the same side and gives you a good advantage. That is my 4th tip for you guys. The 5th tip and the best tip is coming up next. So my 5th tip for you guys is the most important one because it talks about how to actually run a Madden offense. The first thing that you should do whenever a Madden comes out is figure out both your defensive scheme and your offensive scheme. So tip number 5 is to figure out a mini scheme and constantly build upon that. Often we find ourselves switching through playbooks because we see other pros maybe running plays that we like, and that's fine and dandy, but what you want to do is find a playbook that you're very solid in, that you can get to the plays quickly. Now, how you do that is by labbing your offensive scheme and by constantly going into practice mode and figuring out different things. I'm going to suggest that you always start with the playbook that you used the previous year and then go from there. Now, what I like to do is actually come into practice mode and go up against the air. And then I go up against the actual defense and I go between cover 1, cover 2, cover 3, cover 4, cover 6 palms. And I attack every defense with the actual play to see how I can and cannot run that play. But in order to figure out a scheme, I'm going to tell you guys the secret. The secret is simply to find your favorite formation in which you can run the most plays out of. So for me, it would be the gun split close. So what I do is I will come out in gun split close in practice mode, and then I will just run any random defense. And the first thing I do is find all of my audibles. So you get 4 audibles per formation, right? So in hindsight, you actually get 5 plays that you can possibly run out of every formation. So I never pick a play that's in my audibles because I can always audible to it. So what I do is find my 4 favorite plays in that formation, and then I pick a play that's not in my audibles just in case I want to run it. So if I have 4 pass plays, then I normally will come out in a run play just to have a run option to switch back to out of that formation. Now, what you want to do once you come out, you have your 5 plays, your play that you start with, and then the 4 plays in your audible. You want to see which formations you can either audible up or audible down into. By audible up, I mean coming out maybe like I formation or something of that nature, then switching over into a shotgun with 3 wide receivers. That would be audibling up. Or audibling down would mean that you come from a 3 wide receiver set to having your receiver at tight end and then having a traditional offense that way. So here we are in gun split close. The first thing I'm going to do is look at all of the formations, not the plays, but just the formations that I can audible into. So I say I have weak close, strong pro, Y, I form off, and then I form pro, and then I have gun split close. Okay, so those would be the 4 formations that I can audible into. So the next thing that I do is I go to those formations in my playbook and I see if are there any plays in those formations that I like to run. So we had IY off, and then we had weak close, and then we had strong pro. So I would see what plays I actually like out of this formation. I would tell you A is one play that I would definitely take some time at. I like the crossers that are coming out of this play. It'd really be good for man or zone coverage if you can get the time. So I will set up A as one of my audibles, PA, pound, draw, pass. And what I would do, come out and gun split close. Maybe I see something that doesn't work in this formation, and now I know, hey, look, you know what would work is running it out of strong pro. And now I can audible down to that formation and get into a better confidence with the play that I selected, because maybe this play works better against the defense that the opponent is running. Now, this is very beneficial to you because the defense now either has to stay in the defense that he's in or try to figure out what you're going to run because you've changed complete formations in place. So my last and best tip is to figure out your scheme, figure out every single formation you can audible into, and then find 5 plays in every formation that you like to run that will give you the advantage to either audible down into or audible up into. And as always, This has been another YouTube video from your boy, DG the Chef. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope these tips really help you out and that you guys can get into a good offense. And let me know down in the comments if it helps you out. I think the next thing we're gonna do is build upon this and do like a part 2. And we talk about like different schemes and different ways to set up your offense to be successful. But anyway, I think that's enough for today. It's been your boy. It's been love, but it's always love. And you knew that. This is DG the Chef, and I'm out.